What is up, guys? It is Vans Gaming coming back at you live with The Walking Dead, the Road to Survival Gaming app. And this video, this episode, whatever you want to call it, is going to be about defenses and what good, defenses you can come up with, or how to, get the tunes you have and make them into, a defense that you can finally defend on in wars and regular raids to save that rep and stuff like that. I know a lot of people don't care about reputation in the game. If you don't know what reputation is, I'll show you up real quickie. It is right here, reputation. It's pretty much how much you raid. It pretty much tells players how active you are in a sense, and also, you get to test out your offense team, see which offenses work. If you lose rep, obviously, your offense start doing that well, or someone else rated your defense because your defense wasn't up to par. They couldn't take them down. So definitely, some people care about reputation, some people don't. I like it. I like rating, I like defending and all that stuff. So I definitely want to talk about, defenses, and I know a lot of people have a tough time with it just for the fact that there's a lot of tunes that they have that probably do not go well together. They have like a mix of melee and range, or they have a good range leader, but they just don't have the range tunes, and same with melee and stuff like that, or melee, or however you call it. I'm very bad at pronouncing words. I keep getting comments about that, how I say Andrea. I don't even know if I just said it right there, so just ignore that if it bothers you. So, yeah, okay, back to defenses. As you can see, I'm gonna scroll down and show you guys what my defenses are here. So it's pretty much Shiva. I have for my main defense here, and then a defense 2. I have Green Michonne as a lead. As you can see, Shiva is majority of my defenses of my different varieties. And note that it's good to have a variety of defenses. Like if you saw in my war videos, I would change defenses a couple times, and that leaves the enemy pretty confused at times, especially if you keep the same leader. As you can see, I have the same leader, but I have some tunes that are different, and that will actually catch them off guard. And I've noticed that a lot. Like when I changed defenses, I started to defend the people that attacked me in the beginning with the first defense. So I think it's definitely a thing you can do, and a thing that's a strategy you can do per se. So here's my defense 3, my defense 4, my defense 5, and I have a couple more over here. Just give me a minute. And I have like the like I put on my team 19, see if testing defenses, and then I have the smiley face one to know that this one works, that I defend a lot with this team, and then I have my Davy lead, for more confusion. I have the same leader but different tunes. So first, what I would do, like I would put Davy lead, and then I would put my Garrett, and then all blue. So when they go in, they see all blue, and then they probably fail because Davy leads tend to be a little bit confusing. A lot of universal leads like Victor, like Ben, like Davy, universal leads like that tend to be a little bit confusing. So what I decided to do here was I did a blue team, mostly blue here, and then once they failed and then they started to bring their yellows and attack the blues, and then I would explode, then I would repair and quickly move on to this one. So they would still probably think that I would have a blue team, but in fact I have an all green team, and then when they bring in their yellows, my greens are ready to wipe them out of the waters, get them out of the waters, and then I'm defending some more, and it helps me for not exploding, not spending coin as much, and it also helps my faction. So that's another thing you can think about if you have like a lot of universal leads. So how to find perfect tunes that go well together, stuff like that. So first things first, I use my Shiva lead because in my opinion she's one of the best melee. Like I said, I don't know how you say it, but I say melee, so I'm gonna say that. So I personally believe she's one of the best melee leaders out there, behind Yellow Clementine and probably the Dwight that is in the museum right now. So I'll show you real quick what her leader skill is. All melee teammates get 30% defense and a very large bonus AP when attacking. I think that's absolutely great right there. I think, you know, when someone's attacking a defense with a leader that has, you know, defense on all the tunes, it's going to take them quite a little bit of time to get everyone down. So this is especially good in war, for the fact that it'll take them time to, you know, take down your defense. Like, even if they get through your defense, it's going to take them time. So they're off worrying about your defense while my faction is hurrying up and trying to kill them and make them explode. So, you know, it's pretty cool when they're still attacking you and they're already exploding, like, what the heck, I only got 1 or 2 attacks down, and stuff like that. So it makes them, you know, stay in that match longer, and especially yellow clementine leads. I don't know if you guys like have seen in your regions, but yellow clementine leads, there's a lot of timer teams, and what timer teams mean, if you don't know, is when there's like a clementine, there's a green Morgan with like where there's teams where there's defense buffs, and just crazy stuff like a Lee or a yellow Michonne, like a timer team, which pretty much, you know, says it for itself that, you know, it'll time you out, like, and there's a reviver in there, so like when you get Lee down and you're off getting the next tune, but it has like that big defense, because I believe yellow clementine is 30% HP and defense. She doesn't have the very large, but usually mostly what she is used for is for timer teams, and those are so annoying. Not many in my region have them anymore, but they used to, and I would always get timed out, or I always would have to flee because I'm spending so much time on that team, and that's exactly what they want you to do. So definitely those two are good. But you also got to remember, you know, if you want a timer team, you have to have perfect tunes in the back of that leader of like yellow clementine. I would show you guys, but I don't have yellow clementine. But here's like a little, if you do have yellow clementine, green Morgan, the one with the defense buff, is good. The survival road Ezekiel is definitely good. If you saw my last war video, that Ezekiel definitely, you know, gave me a hard time. So there's that, and then there's definitely Lee and a reviver as well. So that's, I believe that's 5. I don't know if I can count. So that's yellow clementine, the green Morgan, or any defense buff, as well as the survival road Zeke, which gives attack and defense buff. And then there is the reviver, and then you can also actually, you know, put in another shield like yellow Michonne, or another defense buff, or another reviver. So it's kind of stuff like that. You have to make sure, you know, it goes well, and you know that the opponent will possibly timer. So that being said, I don't have any timer team tunes. I will show you my roster here a second so you guys can see what tunes that I have. I believe I showed it in other videos, but you know, here's just me quick scrolling of what I have. I have a couple doubles, as you can see here. Double Andrea, Michonne here, just a couple, you know, I have a couple 5-stars, you know, they're not the best 5-stars in the world, but I make use of what I got. Oops, sorry, I scrolled a little too fast there, and then it just goes to my 4-stars here that I don't necessarily use. So, first things first, you gotta find a good leader. So, if you have a universal leader, you're already, like, in the first step of the game. Here's the universal leader here, which is Dr. Stevens. Not many have him. He's actually the level up prize first place right now, and he's really good. But I personally don't use him as a leader, just for the fact that he literally has, you know, he has a good leader skill, but he doesn't have that 30%. It's like 30% defense like Shiva does. So definitely I usually just put him in my defense, but not as a leader. But here's an example of what a universal leader is. And then I have a Davy, which is 30% defense against strong characters. All teammates get a medium bonus to AP when attacking. So, and then there is the limited edition 5-star Negan. All my elite teammates get 30% attack and a very large bonus to AP when attacking. So it's like Shiva, but with the 30% attack. And then I have the Victor here, which is all teammates get 30% attack against fast characters. All teammates get a medium bonus to AP when attacking. And then there's the Ben, but I don't have the Ben, unfortunately. I really wish I had the Ben, but I do not. So, but I'm hoping I get him, you know, one day, because he's actually a very good leader. So, if you have those type of tunes, then you're already ahead of the game. You're all good in the hood. You're all good. So if you don't have a If you don't have, you know, a universal leader, then you're kind of in just a little pickle. I don't have a good range leader, but Andrea is one you could use. Unfortunately, she's not the best leader to have. If you guys don't know, blue defenses are are pretty crappy right now. They're just really easy to beat now. But she's all tough teammates, good 30% attack, one very large bonus AP when attacking. So the only problem with that is you have to have the rest of your 4 tunes have to be blue. So they have to be blue because that's how they're gonna gain the leader skill from this Andrea. So and Andrea is available in the depot, so she's easy to get. But if you don't have a universal lead, then you got to do what you got to do, and you'll probably still defend, and stuff like that. But it's just not the best defense that you can get. But she is one of them. And here's 4-star Michonne, that's one of them. All strong teammates get 3% attack and a very large bonus to AP when attacking. So she's like a green Andrea. But see, the problem with that, what I have with these kind of tunes, is that like Michonne, it says all strong teammates, so it's all green. And then Andre here, it's all tough teammates, so it's all blue. So when someone or your opponent is attacking you, they see an Andrea lead, they see a Michonne lead, and they know you're gonna have green. They know you're gonna have a blue if you have Andrea. So they know they're either gonna have to bring yellow or red, and then they're kind of gonna wipe you out. So you're not hiding behind the fact of like a universal like Victor, who is all teammates. So they have no idea what's behind your defense whatsoever. So you have more of a probability of defending because they don't know what tunes to, go in with. And it has a probability of going with the wrong tunes, which will make them fail. And it's a really good thing for you and your faction, for war and keeping your reputation and stuff like that. So, if, you're having trouble, if you have more of a range, in your roster, you definitely, and you don't have a universal lead, you want to go with like an Andrea, or if you have the Slice and Dice Michonne, so I call her Slice and Dice, the OG one. It's been here like in this game for a long time, in the beginning. Then you want to go with Michonne, but you have to make sure you have greens behind her, because if you have a red, he's just gonna die. He's not gonna do anything, or he or she or whatever. And then I have Angela here. A lot of people are getting Angela from the 5-star 10 token wheel, and all fast teammates get a very large bonus to AP when attacking and taking damage. So she's like it says right here, all fast. So it's only all yellow. So everybody knows they have to bring greens to the defense when they see an Angela lead. So it's a 50-50 shot. Some people have amazing yellows, or some people have amazing blues and greens. So sometimes they'll even defend when a person brings the opposite color to try to defeat that color. So 50-50 shot there, but it's still the best alternative if you don't have a universal lead. But definitely try for a universal lead if you can. And okay, so once you got that set up, once you either have a universal lead or just one type of color tune type of lead there, then the next particular tune you would want to have is a shield tune. Everybody should, obviously shields are kind of easy to beat now, kind of not, ever since the armory, which has the absolutes and the stun guns and everything like that. Shields are getting pretty tough, but even without the stun guns and the absolutes and stuff like that, shields, you still have to go buy the shields to kill the rest of the tunes. So shields still really help you out. So if you have a shield, you definitely want to put that in there. Whatever your leader is, a shield will always come in handy. But obviously with my leader, which is a Shiva, she gives the melee tunes that 30% defense. So when I put in my shield Michonne there, she gets that buff with already a tank weapon that she has with her. So you definitely, want to try to get, your leader to mix in with the rest of your tunes. But if you can't, then, you can't. Like, in my occasions, I have my Shiva lead with, a red Garrett. And so she gives no leadership skill to Garrett. But I put him in there because he has a stun gun and because he'll help me out and stuff like that. But he can still get blown away by an Andrea, just like a freaking, what is it called? Eagle eye to the face. So there's that. So then after the shield, you're kind of going to want to, hold on, I'll show you guys real quick. Go back to the defense that I have. You're going to want an adjacent tune. You're going to want that, that, obviously Victor here is not like the biggest hitter in the world, but I don't really have that great of an adjacent tune. I do have Guardian Rick, but I feel like, I put him in another defense there, so like I said, have variety of defenses. But here's Victor's Adrenaline Rush. He gives that, one enemy and all enemies adjacent to it. He doesn't give that big of a punch, the 175%, but he does give that negative 50 defense, so that's pretty cool right there. So you got to make sure that you have some type of adjacent tune, in your defense there, because, let's say the opponent is getting your shield a bunch of times and they just can't kill the shield maybe, then that adjacent tune will literally crap them. Well, they'll crap on them, but they'll crack them, and possibly kill their whole team if they have like all blues or something. And then I have Dr. Stevens here. I love this guy just for the fact that he heals. All their teammates can gain 20% AP. All teammates are getting up to 20% of their max HP for 3 turns. So I suggest having a healer in here. Before all of this, it's definitely a good idea to have 45 AP tunes necessarily, because they'll rush faster. That's why I put Dr. Stevens in here, because he's a 45 AP. And I also have a command tune. So command tunes are a 50-50 shot. So they can either command the right tune. They can either command the right tune to, command, or they can command the wrong tune, which will totally mess up your defense. So that's why I put Greases in just this defense and one other one. Just because it's that 50-50 shot, and sometimes that 50-50 shot will get you a defense, or sometimes it'll totally, counter you, and it'll just make your defense not good at that particular moment you're getting attacked. So, command tunes, generally, I would suggest not putting a command tune, but just the fact that, Greases here, he heals, that 45% of their max HP, that's why I really like him. So I'm technically putting another healer here, but if he didn't have the command, that would be good, either way. But sometimes the command can really mess your defense up, so I kind of suggest not putting a command tune in there. And here's another defense that I have with the green Michonne there, and I try to mix it up a little bit. So here's a good thing that you can do. Like I was saying, how leaders like Slice and Dice Michonne here are only for green tunes. I decided to put blue Tyrese. So you're probably asking, okay, why did you put a blue there if he's not gonna get any leader skill at all? So the reason I put him is not because he's because it's just random. I put him here because of that neutralize ability. So you also got to think about that, the neutralize here. So, if you don't know what neutralize is, it's when this character attacks an enemy that has 90% or more adrenaline, the enemy will be impaired for 1 turn. So, let's say you're getting attacked, and that guy thinks, oh, this guy's dumb, he's putting a blue tune in this green defense, but, while he's trying to kill your shield there, and forgets that maybe Tyrese is a neutralizer, doesn't pay attention to the blue because he thinks he's not going to do anything. Yeah, probably Tyrese or any neutralizer is not going to adrenaline rush like at all. They'll probably die before they will adrenaline rush, but they will always neutralize when the enemy has 90% or more adrenaline. So then they're kind of screwed, because what if their important tune that they're going to try to wipe you out with gets neutralized? So Tyrese neutralizes, let's say they have an adjacent tune that will wipe you out, but they neutralize it, and then you have your defense has another turn to try to wipe them back, and it'll totally counter them. And I think that's a really a sneaky thing to do. So that's a little tip for you guys to do. You can put a neutralize there if you have neutralize. If it's a color besides your leader skill, your leader tune skill, then you could do that too. And then I have Michonne here. I just have her for defense, just to try to put a shield out there, because I don't have a green base shield like Lee. And for her, I have a tank weapon, so she won't die that easy. She's just there to shield. Not to really do that much damage there. And then we got and then I got a variety of other Shiva leads here, and then I have the Negan lead here. Try to mess them up a little bit, because he's considered a universal leader as well. I'm elite teammate, so get them confused there. I have the Guardian Rick here, like I said before, the healer Garrett, and Michonne. The reason I use Garrett a lot is because I have a stun gun. If you guys didn't know from watching my videos, he's not a good shield necessarily, but if you have a stun gun, he's perfect. You know what I mean? And then you can have your test defense. So I always test defense during war. I think that's the best way. I don't like testing my defense during raids because they can just practice, while they'll have to like literally kill you on the spot there if they want the points in war. So here, you could just test defenses. I have Victor here, Shiva, Greasus on Andrea. This is kind of a random team. Try to see, if it maybe works. And then I have another Shiva here lead with, I have neutralized Tyrese here. I think rarely many people have him, so I really like this card here. And then I have Victor, and then I have Greasus here, and then I have Garrett. So, I have have varieties, and like I said before, I have my Davy leads here, try to confuse them, put in a blue based, and then when you explode and you coin back, you put in a green base, so then when they go in with their yellows, they're totally wiped out, ladies and gentlemen. And just to tell people, who don't have shields, don't stress out about it. You know what I mean? Just try to pick, your tunes that will go well in together. There's a lot of teams that I face that don't have shields, and it's still typically a pretty good team. It's just like, even though I still defeat them, I still give them a lot of props for coming up with that team even without a shield. But if you do have a chance to get a shield, to get one in an event or something like that, definitely get it. I think shields are still pretty big game changers. Even with that new Zeke out with the focus, I think they're still pretty good to have. I think it just gets you more defenses in general. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that helped a little bit, to decide on what type of defenses you want to do and stuff like that. Don't stress out if you just have like more range than melee, but you don't have a good range leader. Just try to pick, the tune that has a really good leader skill, and then just back it with what that leader skill can give them. You know what I mean? So thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that helped. If I did help, or if you have any questions, like that button, and also comment down below, like I said, if you have any questions, and subscribe if you also enjoyed this video. So thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.